Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? It's time you take control of your investments. For over 15 years, Phil'sGang.com's Phil Grandy has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. Phil'sGang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true? Why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
To many, the stock market is shrouded in mystery. When do I buy? What is the stop loss? Should I invest on earnings? Is it time to sell? At Phil's Gang, we want to clear the investing fog for you. We want to make you an educated, confident investor and ultimately a profitable investor. For over 15 years, Phil Grandy and the Phil's Gang team have been dedicated to teaching, guiding, and answering your investment questions. And with our new Phil's Gang website and customer support messaging system, we are available when you need us to answer your questions. philsgang.com can be accessed from your home, office, or any location where internet is available. Plus, you never miss a beat because all material is archived. From beginner to seasoned investor, Phil Grandy has been helping thousands of people learn about the stock market and producing smart investing strategies. Whether you're preparing for retirement or looking to secure your financial future, learn, invest, and profit with Phil's Gang. That's philsgang.com. For more information, call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? Isn't it time you take control of your investments? For over 15 years, philsgang.com's Phil Grandy has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or philsgang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true, right? So why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, there's nothing worse than you're investing in a stock and during the day something happens and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Or you call somebody and they just give you a bunch of BS. Not here at Phil's Gang. We value every gang member. During the day, you got a question about your stock, you contact us. We have the best service in the world. philsgang.com. You're not alone. You're a gang member.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. they pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? You know, reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you will be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
So you would say, don't raise rates this year?
No, don't raise rates this year. Don't raise rates next year. Don't fire till you see the whites of inflation's eyes.
You are an idiot.
And that is Krugman, and he is an idiot. Don't raise rates. We should have been raising rates back in 2010. So as this economy gets worse, we have some bullets. We have some ammunition. If our rates were up to at least 5% right now, we could start cutting. That would help us from dropping back into another recession. It's unbelievable. Hey, welcome to Phil's Gang. Coast to coast around the country off the Wall Street Radio Network. The market is flat right now. As we're getting closer to the election, the market is really not much action because most of the institutions, the big boys, they do not want to place a bet. They're not quite sure which way it's going. Well, I'll tell you which way it's going right after we get into our financial segment. But first, my commentary. Hey, did you see the auto repossessions, the highest in 20 years? I've been telling you this all along. Auto sales also, remember, has been stagnant for the past year. And these repossessions now are really starting to kick in. And I've been saying that all along, that this deal to go save the auto industry, to go save GM, was a joke. It was a joke. You're going to pay for it. Because when they went to save it, it was to save the union jobs so that Obama could get elected. That's it. Financially, it made no sense. It made no sense at all. So once they got GM off the ground and saved it, they decided, well, what are we going to do? How people don't have any money. We just went through a crash. They lost $12 trillion. The folks on Main Street, the consumer, lost $12 trillion. Between the stock market, they got wiped out in that. Their savings, their 401k, their homes, the equity. They have no equity. What are we going to do? Well, let's just take a playbook, a page of George Bush playbook, and we'll do the same thing that we did with autos or with homes. Anybody could have a home. We'll finance. If they could breathe, we finance them. We'll do the same thing with autos. In fact, with autos, because we can charge 18 to 22% interest, let anybody have it. We could care less who these people are. They can have the worst credit in the world. But because we charge so much interest, out of 5 people, if we lose on 3, we still make money. And that's what they've been doing. But now it's caught up. The inventory is building everywhere. Many of the sales they call sales were never sales. Most of it was leases. That's right. Leases once time were reserved for the wealthy. You take a high-priced car and you put an executive in and say, I'm going to lease it to you, see how you like it. They would lease. But now what they've done is taken a reverse it and used leases for people who have bad credit. Are you nuts? What, are you nuts? So it's election time. We talked about the other day about minimum wage, which is absolutely crazy. You notice how every time elections come around, they talk about minimum wage hikes, they talk about Social Security, and they talk about how they're going to build and take care of and help support inner cities, especially African Americans. And then after the election, that's it. They don't talk about it anymore. It's amazing. Now, Social Security is important. It's important. And the elections know the vast majority of our elderly population, Social Security is a lifeline. Not much of one. Are you kidding? Imagine living on Social Security. But most people do. So it seems like every time these politicians talk about the future of Social Security long term, what do these jibber jabbers start doing, these parasites? The first thing they start saying is, let's raise the retirement age, and then let's cut benefits. What are you, nuts? That's a great way of fixing things. Oh, you got to work another 10 years. Oh, and by the way, we're going to cut your benefits by 40%. These politicians are nuts. They keep calling for cuts to benefits. But see, they're very, very wealthy people, these politicians. They don't need Social Security. They shouldn't even be getting Social Security. And they don't get it. They don't know how bad it is. They don't know how the state of retirement, the security is so bad. They don't get it. See, they don't understand because pensions are gone now. Nobody gets a pension anymore. That was a beautiful thing. A pension was a beautiful thing. It was an agreement between the worker and his company, and they had a great arrangement. The worker said, hey, I will work as hard and give you so hard and give you such a fine product that we can compete. And the owner said, that's great, and what I'm going to do, don't you ever worry about your retirement. Your retirement is going to be terrific. You're not going to have to worry, you, your wife, don't worry. I'll take care of your retirement, you take care of me with beautiful products. And that's what they did. Those days are gone. They came in with this terrible, terrible 401k, which is nothing but a scam. Even the founder of 401ks calls them a scam. But the problem is, because those pensions have become a thing of the past, and now we have stagnant wages, it's making things really hard to put aside savings. And even when you put aside savings, because of these wealthy politicians, they decided to give their elitist pals on Wall Street, their friends, the banksters and the CEOs of these large corporations, zero interest money so they could go and buy their own shares back or speculate so they get even more wealthy. That's really screwed things up. Because how does the Federal Reserve give money to Wall Street, to the elitists at 0% and make any money? How do you do that? You don't. So how did they fix it to make it work? They said, what we'll do is we'll take the savings rate of 5% of the middle-class working people, and we're going to take the 5% rate away from them when they go to save, and they're going to get less than a quarter of a point. So it was the savers who got punished, where they dropped the savings rate so low. It was these politicians, wealthy politicians, who fleeced savers out of $5.2 trillion so that they could take that $5.2 trillion and loan it to the wealthy, to the banksters, to the parasites at zero interest. That's unbelievable. 2/3 of retirees are now relying on Social Security, and their what little savings they have, they get nothing out of that savings. Are you nuts? That's crazy. Now you imagine that 2/3 of the people retired rely on Social Security and whatever little bit they get from their passbook. Wow. This is not a Social Security crisis. This is a full-blown retirement crisis. And these politicians, all millionaires, they don't get it. Only election time. This is unbelievable. So I got a way to fix it. What we should do is put a 10% surcharge, tax them 10% more. Any of the politicians who are worth $1 million or more. Put a 10% surcharge on them. That's how we get the money. And anybody who works on Wall Street in the banks, any banksters, let's do 20% on them. Why not 30%? We could take care of this in 10 minutes. What are you, nuts? Hey, we'll be right back. We're going to take a look at some stocks.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. To many, the stock market is shrouded in mystery. When do I buy? What is the stop loss? Should I invest on earnings? Is it time to sell? At Phil's Gang, we want to clear the investing fog for you. We want to make you an educated, confident investor and ultimately a profitable investor. For over 15 years, Phil Grandy and the Phil's Gang team have been dedicated to teaching, guiding, and answering your investment questions. And with our new Phil's Gang website and customer support messaging system, we are available when you need us to answer your questions. philsgang.com can be accessed from your home, office, or any location where internet is available. Plus, you never miss a beat because all material is archived. From beginner to seasoned investor, Phil Grandy has been helping thousands of people learn about the stock market and producing smart investing strategies. Whether you're preparing for retirement or looking to secure your financial future, learn, invest, and profit with Phil's Gang. That's philsgang.com. For more information, call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, people make it too complicated. Wall Street tells you the market cap and the trailing PE and the forward PE and price to sales to confuse you. All you need to know is, does the stock have volume? What's that mean? Energy. What does that mean? If you have people buying a stock, enough of the stock's being bought, it influences the prices to go up. Join my gang, philsgang.com. We're using charting, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. It's always about fees. That's right. It's always about fees. When you're investing in anything, it's about fees, but especially 401ks. Let me explain to you how you get screwed with a 401k. Nobody will tell you this. You'll be told with a $25,000 investment, your 401k will return 7%, and over 30 years, you'll retire with a nest egg of $226,000 with a fee of 0.5%. That is a lie. Do you know if you just bump it from 0.5% to 1.5%, that $226,000 drops to $160? With 2% fee, it drops to $123. But you know what most fees are? 3%. So you're going to drop almost below $100,000. Join my gang, philsgang.com, and get rid of that 401k. It is not for your benefit.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? It's time you take control of your investments. For over 15 years, philsgang.com's Phil Grandy has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. philsgang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true? Why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com.
Put your money to work. Make your investments pay. Listen to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
The Phil's Gang Stock Corner is brought to you by the MaxVest 1000 Stock Charts.
Fact of the matter is, and we've just seen with this GDP number that came out a day or so ago, number one, the consumer is still strong. Businesses are just now starting to slowly spend some of the billions of dollars of cash that they have. And we've got exports picking up. So and banks are starting to lend.
Unbelievable. Welcome to Phil's Gang. Let me give you number 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG, so you can call in. And Steve is there, Alex is there. They'll take your call and sign up for your free chart. We call it our MV2 chart. It's a color-coded chart. Beautiful. It's free for 4 weeks. Okay. Now, the stock market right now is just really in a very, very narrow range because a lot of the institutions are pulling their money out, sitting on the sidelines because they don't know which way the market's going to go if Hillary wins or if Trump wins. Well, I'll tell you which way it's going to go. If Hillary wins, we're going to have a rally. It's going to be called a relief rally, maybe go up about 10%. And then it's going to fail. And then we're going to sell off about probably 20% or more. If Trump gets in, the market will probably drop 30% right off the bat. Now, but that, again, I will know by looking at my chart. For example, I just had Amgen. Think about Amgen. Amgen rallied, started a rally. Now, if you were a gang member, think about this. This is what you would have done. Our gang members have Amgen. They bought it when it turned red that was in July. When it turned green, back in July. And they bought it when it was around $156. And from $156, it didn't turn red until it got to about 174. That was a 14% gain. Even if you got half of that. Now, but the beautiful thing is you were warned, the chart warned you, the institutions are pulling the money out. Now, if you had an option, they could short it. When it turns red, it means you can sell short. Push a little button that says sell short. You believe the stock's going to go down, just push a button. It's not difficult. As it goes down, you make money. And it dropped all the way from 177 area all the way down to $135. That's another 22%. That's a 22% drop that you would have picked up. So you had made yourself 14% on the way up, 22% on the way down. And you didn't know anything about Amgen. You didn't have to know a thing about Amgen. And that's why we take our gang members and we train them and tell them stay with just 5 good key stocks all year. Facebook. You hear what happened with Facebook? Facebook dropped big time. As a matter of fact, listen to this here.
Take a look at this. Facebook, this is the one that we're watching very closely, is down near session lows.
It's important to understand that the real question here will be about magnitude. How much is that investment, which we don't know, and also that this is an investment versus, say, cost. And they talked about some of their investments, VR, video, etc. So the magnitude will be the real important point.
So it sounds like you'd be willing to say at this point to buy this dip, or is it still too early, too much to go in the conference call?
Yeah, we have a buy on the stock. The quarter was phenomenal.
Unbelievable. The reason for buying the stock was magnitude and investment versus cost. That's not why you buy a stock. That's not why you buy a stock. You buy a stock of J.P. Morgan, Blackstone, Goldman Sachs, the 5 largest banks are buying. That's why you buy it, or that's why you sell it. It's that simple. Great example. So the gang on Facebook, they knew to get out. It turned red. While these people are saying buy, it turned red on November 1st. And it dropped from 132 to where it is today, 119. 132 to 119. A 10% drop. So these people that got in, listen to CNBC because of fundamentals, because they said it is a magnitude or whatever he said, and invest versus cost. That's not why. See, these people just make this stuff up. They make stories. This is such an easy business. It's just you watch the money go in and go out. Now, this jibber jabber, I want you to listen to this guy here. Remember what he said?
Fact of the matter is, and we've just seen with this GDP number that came out a day or so ago, number one, the consumer is still...
So he's saying the consumer is strong. He's saying the consumer is strong because of the GDP.
Fact of the matter is, and we've just seen with this GDP number that came out a day or so ago, number one, the consumer is still strong.
Now, that's another lie. Another lie. Now, he's part of the Hillary media. Oh, they were falling all over themselves when they came out with a GDP at 2.9% this week. Oh, they just were falling all over themselves. Timing couldn't have been better. Now, remember what GDP is. GDP is our economic growth. Every quarter, we measure the amount of finished goods that were produced by a manufacturer. And then that's your GDP. And you do the same thing in the next quarter, and you hope manufacturers produce more finished goods. But they're not sold finished goods. These are the ones that are manufactured, and then they're shipped. So, he's saying how the GDP was saying that the identifying consumer is strong. No, not at all. Not at all. Now, that 2.9% GDP was an exception. Let's think about it. GDP for economic growth, the first quarter was 0.8%, the second quarter 1.4%, and this quarter, third quarter, 2.9%. How did it get to 2.9%? Oh boy, they said, oh, things are great, the economy's turning around. No! Two things brought it to 2.9%. Christmas inventory and soybeans. What are you, nuts? I'm not going to give credit to the 2.9%. I'm not going to give credit to increased inventory for Christmas and soybeans that are being shipped overseas because some countries had a famine and our government had to ship them all these soybeans. That's over the next quarter. That's a one-time hit. So, but they don't tell you that. That's why it's so important to stop listening to these jibber jabbers. You watch a chart. Join my gang right now and get your free chart. 877-600-GANG. We'll be right back with a lot more.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Phil Grandy is a career businessman who's also been an entrepreneur all his life. He's used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with a prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? Isn't it time you take control of your investments? For over 15 years, philsgang.com's Phil Grandy has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. philsgang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true, right? So why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
To many, the stock market is shrouded in mystery. When do I buy? What is the stop loss? Should I invest on earnings? Is it time to sell? At Phil's Gang, we want to clear the investing fog for you. We want to make you an educated, confident investor and ultimately a profitable investor. For over 15 years, Phil Grandy and the Phil's Gang team have been dedicated to teaching, guiding, and answering your investment questions. And with our new Phil's Gang website and customer support messaging system, we are available when you need us to answer your questions. philsgang.com can be accessed from your home, office, or any location where internet is available. Plus, you never miss a beat because all material is archived. From beginner to seasoned investor, Phil Grandy has been helping thousands of people learn about the stock market and producing smart investing strategies. Whether you're preparing for retirement or looking to secure your financial future, learn, invest, and profit with Phil's Gang. That's philsgang.com. For more information, call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. We're a teaching format, and boy, do we give good service. You know, buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated is so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. philsgang.com, where we don't make it complicated, but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, there's nothing worse than you're investing in a stock and during the day something happens and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Or you call somebody and they just give you a bunch of BS. Not here at Phil's Gang. We value every gang member. During the day, you got a question about your stock, you contact us. We have the best service in the world. philsgang.com. You're not alone. You're a gang member.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grandy and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Fact of the matter is, and we've just seen with this GDP number that came out a day or so ago, number one, the consumer is still strong.
Oh, really? Still strong? And guess what? Are you nuts? How can that be? We've had 94 straight months of stagnant productivity. And what's that mean? Productivity identifies how much growth in wages. And for 94 straight months, There's been almost none. 94 months. Oh, he says consumers are strong. Second, durable goods. You always look at durable goods. Those are items that last 3 years or longer. That always indicates the amount of economic growth going forward as a result of businesses investing in their own, capital investment, business investment, which is responsible for GDP growth. And it's been anemic. It's been anemic for 2 years. So what's he talking about? So here we go. We got terrible growth this whole year. Terrible growth. 0.8%, 1.4%. Now comes 2.9%. And he's telling us how great things are. Please believe him. Things are wonderful. No. That 2.9%, if you take away the soybeans, you take away the inventory for Christmas, then you're right back down to 1.1%. And for the year, you're 1.1%. And then for the entire year, it'll be about 1.6%. This is ridiculous. The economy is in such bad shape. Such bad shape. Now, when you're investing in stocks, as long as you stay away from fundamentals, as long as you stay away from these dopes on Wall Street, and be smart, and take Caterpillar. Caterpillar is one of our 5 stocks. Caterpillar going back from June on Caterpillar, a great stock, and up to October. October was right around October, I think it was around 19th. We had about a 15% return using our color-coded chart. We knew when to get in, we knew when to get out, and just lately we just got out on October 19th, and the stock has dropped 7%. So we were able to make sure we kept Caterpillar our gain of 15%. 15%. Isn't that a beautiful thing? In fact, if we go back and you look when we first got in June, up to October, there was it went up approximately 25%. But if all those periods of time that it turned red and told you to get out, so you didn't get hurt, if you pull all those reds out, you made yourself 15%. And now it just saved us again. Beautiful thing that works. Now, if the economy's getting worse and worse and worse, which it is, and the economy and the stock market's going to drop, it will. What a beautiful tool to have. Now let's talk about, he says, about business spending. You got to love these guys.
Businesses are just now starting to slowly spend some of the billions of dollars of cash that they have.
That's not true. Businesses are not doing capital investment. There's no business spending. Why would they do any business spending when the economy is so bad and consumers are so bad? By the time they pay their health care from Obamacare, by the time they pay rent's a killer. Rent, health care expense. They have nothing left. That's why for 5 quarters, we've had a negative. These corporations, earnings growth, negative. And for the last 2 quarters, it was terrible. 0.8% growth in our economy because they didn't invest. See, businesses didn't invest. So if you have a GDP the first quarter of 0.8% when you should be at 3%, but you're at 0.8%, but they tell us on CNBC or Fox, look at this, businesses are spending. Just because they say it, people believe it. Spending 0.8% didn't happen. Now, the GDP for the second quarter is 1.1%. Should be 3%. Why didn't it go to 3%? Because businesses aren't spending. They're putting their money plowing it back into stock buybacks to move their stocks way up. And there lies a real big problem. We'll talk about that in a minute. But business spending. We've had the first quarter negative growth, earnings, profits of corporations, minus 9%. Second quarter, minus 2.6%. This quarter, minus 2.1. Not plus, all minus. But he's saying, businesses are spending? They lie. We're at a 4-year low with business spending and capital spending. Are you nuts? Ford just cut $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion in spending. They cut it by a quarter. Target, $273 million they just cut. Carnival Cruise Line by 2/3, $330 million they cut. I hope they didn't get rid of the lifeboats and lifesavers. I hope they didn't do that. So this is nuts. They're taking the money, they're cutting the savings of $237 million, the $1.5 billion, the $330 million, and they're buying their own shares, the CEOs, the company shares, so they get rich. And when they buy their own shares, instead of putting it into capital investment, then the economy doesn't grow. If you don't buy machinery and tools, the economy doesn't grow. You don't get wages because the company is not productive. The productivity doesn't go up. With new machinery and new technology, productivity goes up, and that means wages go up, and you get a raise, and they hire people. It's all nuts. Then he lies, and he says...
and banks are starting to lend.
No, banks aren't lending. Banks aren't lending. They've increased their bond purchasing by 72%. Are you kidding? And productivity, which gives us our standard of living, declined for the first time in 23 years this year. Matter of fact, October, we just got a number. U.S. employers cut 30,000 jobs. Now, if I'm a trader, I'm an investor, what do I care? I care for our country, of course. But I'm going to make sure I'm in a position that when institutions pull their money out as a result of terrible earnings growth, and they're not going to put money in. But here's what they've been doing. Here's the real problem. Stocks have been going up while earnings growth has been going down. What, are you nuts? Think about that. Stocks have been going up, earnings have been going down. The S&P hit 2,130 in May of 2015. Then it went down to a low of 1820 in January because December they raised the rates, remember, in 2015, and we got clobbered. And then they rallied right back up again. The massive printing of money. Off that low of 1820, they ran it right back up again. Now, once in this high of 2015 in the S&P, okay, all because of stock buybacks. That's how they were able to run the market up. But earnings are not following. So you got a price of the S&P, they're pricing it at 24 times earnings when it should be 12. Now, to make new highs 30 times in the last 18 months, they've been trying to break through the high of 2,130. They can't. And that's with a PE ratio or value on the S&P 500 at 24. And the reason they can't break out, it took 30 times they can't break out because they need a value on the S&P 500 group of 26. Where are they going to get it from? They're going to do that, to break out, they're going to have to do, again, more stock buybacks. So what happens is these stocks are getting so overblown. It's such a bubble. But now I don't have to worry. Because like Caterpillar, it turned red. This is one of our best stocks. It turned red for me on October 19th. And now it's going down. And we're shorting it. We're selling it short. Hit a little button. Sell short. This is the way you can invest. So this market is going, corporate earnings keep sliding while the stock market kept hitting highs and new highs with all the stock buybacks. That's called a bubble. And get ready for this crash. Join my gang today. Call now, 877-600-GANG, and try this chart for 4 weeks for free. It's a beautiful thing. We'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Phil Grandy is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with a prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, Then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, there's nothing worse than you're investing in a stock and during the day something happens and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Or you call somebody and they just give you a bunch of BS. Not here at Phil's Gang. We value every gang member. During the day, you got a question about your stock, you contact us. We have the best service in the world. philsgang.com. You're not alone. You're a gang member.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, most people get involved with a 401k because of the employer match. They really believe that there's free money. There's no free money. It's a scam. Here's how it works. You ever notice that you can't get the money all at once? Why not? Why don't they just give you the match all at once? Why over 6 years? Because they know only 12% of the people who work for a company stay for 6 years or more. Only 12% are there for 6 years. That's why they plugged it to 6 years. They know you're not going to stay. So it's not for your benefit. It's for the benefit of the company. It's a scam. There's an alternative, though. Phil's Gang. Join my gang. philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Welcome back. This segment of the Phil's Gang Show is brought to you by the MV Stock Charts. For more information, go to philsgang.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. The lesson is do not listen to the jibber-jabbers on TV. Stop reading the newspaper on these financial stocks. They tell you to buy. The big guys are already out. Always understand that. When you think you're getting in on a good stock, a good deal, they've already made their money. You get it at second hand. Everything's second hand. They're out. All the inside information, they've got it. They've already moved their clients in. They already moved the banks, the pension funds for the fire and the police. And they remember J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, they're responsible for large pension funds. They get the information first, so when they know things are going to be bad, they pull people out. But before they start pulling people out, they start running the market up to get them out. And that's when they paint the tape and tell you to start buying. They have all these wonderful stories like this guy here who said business was up and banks are lending and consumers are strong because GDP was at 2.9%. I pointed out the whole thing was a lie, 2.9%. Are you kidding me? He wants me to give them credit for soybeans that we shipped that was 1.1% of 2.9%, but for the last 100 quarters, it's 0.3%, one-time event. Oh, he didn't explain that, did he? No. Or how about for 5 straight quarters, we had negative profits, negative earnings growth. And guess what? All the inventory, people were contracting. Nobody wanted to hold inventory. But now we're getting towards Christmas. They want to build the inventory up. So come next quarter, that's going to be all adjusted back down. So you're getting bad information, and you're going to be into certain stocks, think, this guy knows what he's doing. I better go. Boy, things are good. Banks are going up. Boy, they're exporting more. No, they exported some soybeans, you dope. It's unbelievable. And here's another great example. Listen to this dope, Kramer.
I like Cracker Barrel stock. What's your take on Cracker Barrel?
I didn't like the quarter. Quite candidly, the quarter was really nothing to write home about. And Cracker Barrel was one I expected to be really good because gasoline prices are low and people go on the interstate.
Who cares about who cares about gasoline price? Here's what I care about. Cracker Barrel. If you were a gang member, Cracker Barrel was your stock. And if you go look at Cracker Barrel in June, starting in June, it gave us a buy signal. It was green. And the stock went up 15% until we got a red signal at Cracker Barrel to get out. And then with that red sign to get out, you could have just taken your profit, your 15% or 10%, whatever you made, and put it in your pocket, and that's it, and decided, I don't want to short. But you got to learn how to short. Would you buy a car with reverse? With no drive, or drive with no reverse? Of course not. Why would you buy a stock? You just got to hit a little button that says sell short. So if you did, when it turned red, instead of getting out, you shift your order to sell short, a little button, and guess what? It dropped over 20%. And it just turned green. Kramer, what's he doing? He's telling people about Cracker Barrel and how many rocking chairs are out in front. He knows the people, and they're nice people. And all this nonsense, it doesn't mean anything. There's nothing to a stock except is the money there, is the institutions buying it. What Wall Street has done is they put theatrics around it. They put storytelling around it. That's how they make money, when it's so simple. And with technology, you know when they're going in and going out. So let's get you the chart free. You start making money. Please remember St. Jude. That's simple. It's that simple. It's not harder than that. It isn't any harder than that. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. It just gets so annoying. So annoying because of all the lies about this economy. And let me tell you, these banks are in bad shape, in very, very bad shape. And these banks, I'm telling you, they're in real trouble, but they're not going to tell you. Nobody's going to tell you that. I mean, how can you have the S&P trading at 24, a valuation of 24? Are you kidding? It's been when the stocks are going up because they print money, and they go in and buy their own shares. So your stock's going up 130%, and your corporate earnings are going down. Think of it this way. How could the stock market, the S&P, be up 130%, yet the economy is only growing on an average for the whole year, 1.6%? Please explain that to me. These jibber jabbers are just nuts. It's just nuts. And boy, businesses aren't spending. Let's take a look at it. Let's take another stock, GDX. This one's been one of our favorite stocks. We've done so well with GDX. So well with GDX. On GDX, if you go back and look, we had from, I think it was from June, okay, if I'm right, it was May, June, and we had about the stock went up about from, give me the number, Jer, from 20, so you round it off, 21 up to around 31. So it went up about 47%. But when you take out the reds, when you weren't in it, and just look at the greens, you probably on GDX had about an 18% gain. 18% gain. Because you got out when it was red. Or you could have shorted and make money. But think of this. This is one of our greatest stocks. It turned red again. Okay? It turned red again on August 17th. And it dropped from this is unbelievable. It dropped from $30 all the way down to about $24. That was a 20% gain. It was red. All you had to do was short it, and it's just turned green again. So now we're back in because it's green. Now all we got to do is wait for it to turn red again. Now you're saying, well, that's too easy. Try it. That's the hardest thing in trying to sell this product. It sounds too easy. Sounds too easy. Okay.
I've made a very deliberate effort to make sure that I don't look like I'm meddling in what are supposed to be independent processes for making these assessments. We don't operate on innuendo. We don't operate on incomplete information. We don't operate on leaks. We operate based on concrete decisions that...
Wait a minute. This guy's unbelievable. This is the same guy who said George Bush, wasn't a patriot because the national debt grew by $4 trillion. He grew it by $10 trillion, so he was a patriot. Are you kidding me? This is the same phony. Does he forget that he sat down with Bill O'Reilly and he said to the world, there is nothing here. There is nothing going on here. Nothing. When he was sending and he said, I didn't know anything about the email, about her server. And now they got emails of him going to that server. But here's the real crime. The real crime is this. That Justice Department is his. And that Justice Department, just like when he had in the Justice Department, what's his name? He wouldn't prosecute any of the banksters. Eric Holder. He brought his boy Eric Holder in, who had a law office in Washington for 20 years. He represented all the biggest banks. And then when he went to become Attorney General, he took care of all his banks, make sure they didn't get arrested. They weren't, no grand juries, nothing. And then they moved him out and they bring in Loretta Lynch in to make sure she protects who? Hillary Clinton. And the FBI is going nuts because they know there's a crime. And then they wouldn't let her, she wouldn't get out of the way and say to the FBI, go ahead with your prosecution, go ahead and panel a grand jury. She just stayed in the way. He should be saying to her, step aside, step aside. He is as culpable as she is. This is unbelievable, unbelievable. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take care of my family. I want to make money. I want to retire. So with all this terrible stuff going on, we're a third world country now. We don't have justice. There's no justice in this country. We don't have an attorney general. We don't have an attorney general. Her whole job is to protect these crooks who was charging $175,000 for a speech, bill, $200,000 for a speech. And soon as she became not Treasury Secretary of State, his fees start going up $1 million, $750,000 for a speech, $2 million for a speech. He got $13 million from Morocco. Do you think there's a connection there of selling her office? But you know what? Get your chart, 877-600-GANG. Get your chart free, because at the end of the day, they're not going to help us retire or anything else.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of Phil's